The first deposit came on a Tuesday. I was on my way to lunch when my phone vibrated in my pocket. "Woohoo, you just got paid," my budgeting app gleefully told me. That's odd, I thought. Payday wasn't until Friday. I opened the app to find a deposit of $250. It was from a sender I didn't recognize, AWSTGHY2276. I quickly shot off a text to my husband. It was our joint account, but he didn't recognize it either. My next thought was PayPal. I did occasionally get weird payments. I have a crafting side hustle, that's more of a side crawl, but those payments usually say PayPal in the transaction. So who was just giving me money? It must be a scam. But as the hours went by, I didn't get any weird texts or phone calls. That fat $250 just sat there in my bank account, taking up space. "We should give it back," my husband said when I got home. "I don't think we can do that." "Sure we can. We can call the bank, tell them to reverse the transaction." I shot him a look. "Or we could just keep it. Someone did give it to us." "That's unethical." "What's unethical is forcing the kids to eat rice and beans for lunch every day." I slammed the refrigerator shut and plopped down on the couch. "Look, I feel a little weird about it too, okay? But it's not like I picked up a wallet someone dropped and found $250 in it. Someone actually gave this to us, whether it was accidental or not." We argued about it until we went to sleep. Well, not really argued, more just aggressively talked at each other. With 3 kids and 2 full-time jobs, neither of us had the energy to properly argue anymore. When I woke up the next morning, there was a text from an unknown number waiting for me. "At 2:13 p.m. today, go to the corner of 12th Avenue and North Street. Take a photo of the short man in the black coat." What the heck? But Jerry had already left for work. I'd tell him about it later. The weird text from a wrong number. As I got the kids ready for school, I couldn't stop smiling. "Tomorrow, you guys are going to get a special lunch. Not rice and beans, something really good," I told them as we walked down the driveway. After waving to them on the bus, I left for work. But then another text came in as I was riding the elevator up. "If you want to keep the $250, take the photo." My throat went dry. It wasn't free money. Some weirdo wired $250 to me. The elevator door slid open and I stumbled out. How do they have my number? Is it someone I know? I glanced around at the hall of cubicles, at the people I'd worked side by side with for 5 years. Ed is weird enough to pull some shit like this. But then I frowned. If Ed were wiring me $250, he would be asking for a photo of something else. I set my phone face down on the desk and got to work. I didn't spend another thought on the text. I pretended it didn't even happen. I just focused on my happy little spreadsheets, on the upcoming presentation, and hoped it would all go away by 5. It didn't. At 2 o'clock sharp, my phone buzzed loudly, and when I pulled up the text, my breath caught in my throat. "Why haven't you left yet?" I glanced wildly around the office, but nobody was looking at me. I ran over to the window. The sidewalk below was filled with people, but none of them were looking up in my direction. Fear pounded through my veins. Bzzz. "You want to give your kids that special lunch tomorrow, don't you?" I froze. They'd been in my yard, watching me, and now they were somewhere on the street or in this very office watching my every move. I shot up from the desk and ran to the elevator. It took me 8 minutes to get to the corner of 12th and North. Running, in heels. Panting, I glanced around at my surroundings, but I didn't see anything out of place. A woman jogging by, a mother pushing a stroller, 2 businessmen arguing as they crossed the street. And at 2:13, a short man in a black coat strolled into view. He pressed the button for the crosswalk. Quickly, I whipped out my phone, pretending I was texting, and snapped a photo of him. I rushed back to the office building, tears stinging my eyes as my fingers slid across the screen. "Here's your photo," I texted with the image. "Now leave me the fuck alone." After work, I went to the grocery store. I got my kids organic sliced turkey and aged Gouda and gourmet Swiss chocolate for lunch tomorrow. I've played their stupid little sick game, and damn it if I wasn't going to reap the rewards. As the goods approached the conveyor belt, my phone vibrated. Woohoo, you just got paid. My heart fell into my stomach, and it fell through the floor when I saw the amount. $1,000. Whatever they were going to ask me to do tomorrow, I had a feeling it was going to be a lot worse than taking a photo of some random guy. I threw my groceries into the trunk of the car, the whole world going blurry with my tears. Just ignore it. Whatever they ask you to do tomorrow, just don't respond. They'll take the money back, and that'll be it. Then you can go to the police and tell them everything. But I was naive to assume they'd wait until tomorrow, because as I started my car, the phone buzzed again. Drive to the pier. I stared at those 4 words, my heart pounding in my chest. And then I leapt into action. I don't want to play your game, I texted, my hands shaking. Take your money back. I don't want it. Leave me alone. Bzzzt. It's too late for that. I swallowed. What do you mean it's too late? I wrote back. 3 dots popped up showing they were typing. And then the message appeared. Because the cargo is already in your back seat. My heart pounded in my ears. You really shouldn't leave your car unlocked, Lynn. I closed out of the texting app, pulled up my phone and began dialing 911. Something thumped against the back of my seat. Every muscle in my body froze. I held my breath. The shadows in the rearview mirror shifted, but I couldn't quite make out. Bzzzt. Drive to the pier and you'll be safe, but if you call the police... They didn't need to finish that sentence. I swung out of the parking lot and drove as fast as I could to the pier. When I got there, I parked in a dark little corner and cut the lights. Now, in the darkness, in the silence, I could hear them breathing, a steady rush of air right behind my ear. Bzzzt. Close your eyes. I squeezed them shut tight. Rustling movement in the back seat, and then the open and close of a car door. Faint footsteps on the pavement receding into the darkness. I let out the breath I'd been holding. I don't know how long I'd been sitting there with my eyes closed, but I finally felt it was safe to open them when I hadn't heard the footsteps in a long time. I sobbed as I drove home, so thankful I was alive, praying that this whole nightmare was over, that whoever this person was, they'd used me as much as they could and would move on to the next poor soul. But I wasn't so lucky, because this morning, when I woke up, I had a new notification. Woohoo! You just got paid! The amount? $10,000.